So, clear skies, everyone. I am Joseph Farquhar, a webmaster, and my guest today is Roy Gustafson. Welcome, Roy.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you first question. How it happened that you are interested in astronomy, that you are actually astronomer?
Well, this started back when I was a young lad. My mother and my best friend's mother took us two boys to Chicago to look at the Field Museum, the Museum of Science and Industry, the Shedd Aquarium, and the Adler Planetarium. This was in 1954. And
Wow.
interesting enough, if somebody wants to date themselves, that's when the movie Three Coins in a Fountain came out. So I fell in love with astronomy then, and so I've always had things to look at. My dad would sometimes take us out and show us things, like when the Echo satellite would go over, we'd watch those in the sky, and eventually that's why I really got interested in astronomy. And for a year, I was a volunteer projectionist at the Adler Planetarium on Sundays. So that's how I got started, and I've got my telescope, my first telescope when I was, oh gosh, I don't know, in grade school, maybe something like that. Looking at the moon, a real cheap thing from Edmund Scientific, and looked at the moon, looked at Jupiter, looked at Saturn, things that you can see with a small 4-inch cheap telescope.
I'm amazed that you said 1954.
Yeah,
It
yep.
means that you became interested, in actually mid 50s before Sputnik craze and space race and all that stuff, and so this is amazing.
Yeah, I was 8 years old in 1954, so that'll give you my age. But then the Sputnik and everything coming on later after that, and we'd go look for the local paper would publish the times that as the satellites would go over, we would go out and our family would watch them go over and admire them, stuff like that. And I'm
Mhm.
trying to think when I saw my first comet. It had to be in the 50s, but I cannot remember the year or the date or the comet. But I did see a comet back in the 50s. It could have been Aaron Rollins or it could have been Comet
Yes,
Merklich.
yes, I believe that it was 1957.
Yep.
I didn't see it, but from the literature, I think that it was something like that.
Yeah. And I don't know if it was Aaron Roland or Merklich. So someday I've got to do some research and saw to see which one I actually saw.
Yeah, yeah. Mr. Merkos used to observe from Czechoslovakia, so I know something about that.
Oh, good, good, good. That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
So you are a member of Popular Astronomy Club, right? And where is
Yes.
your club located?
The club is located, our legal address is in Orion, Illinois, where I live. That's for the recognition for the state and things like this of Illinois. So, yes, I've been a member for probably close to 50 years.
Wow.
So, been around a long time. We used to meet at the John Deere Planetarium on the campus of Augustana College. And now we've moved to the Ben Butterworth house in Moline. We moved off campus. So,
So
you know,
do you have any building or
no, we don't have a building. We just meet at the that's why the address for the state, they require an address for the
okay.
of the state. So it's my address because I took over the job of the Alcor, and I just kept that address, and that's our legal address right now. And when I retire, it'll have to move to somebody else, and I'll have to change the address. But we don't have a physical building. The only thing physical we do have is a portable observatory called Popular Astronomy Club Mobile Observatory, which was PACMO. And
Mhm.
then on a farm out by Milan, south of Milan, we have our observatory that was donated by our president who passed away several years ago.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So and how it happened? So Orion, but you was born probably in Chicago, so how it happened that you are in Orion?
No, I was born in this area. I just drove to Chicago to run the Astro
Okay.
Planetarium. And I should
Okay.
mention that the Popular Astronomy Club is one of the founding members of the Astronomical League. And our president that started the club, Carl Gamble, was asked to be the first president of the Astronomical League, but he was too busy at the time. But we're one of the founding members of the Astronomical League. So our club has been in existence since 1936, I believe.
1936, this is remarkable. And so you remember actually beginning of Astronomical League?
I was not there for that, no, but it's in our club's history.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that I'm interested at least for past presidents, let's say for past presidents of North Central Region, Astronomy League presidents. Do you know where to find it? Or do you remember any presidents?
You mean who the presidents were?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Carl Gamble would have been the first one. He's the founder of the club, and he would have been the first one. And then there was a Dr. Harry Nelson from Augustana College was the next president. And then there was a Dr. Mel Peterson from Augustana College. He was the next president after that. Then Paul Castle was the president. And then I'm trying to think after him, Paul passed away. And then I was the next president after that. And then for me, Wayland Bauer took over. And I don't know the years. I didn't know had to have that. Wayland Bauer, and then Al Scheidler took over. And then it was Dale Hatchell. And now it's Dino Milani.
Okay. Wonderful. So, and how it happened that you are right now on the board of NCRAL?
I am the secretary treasurer of the NCRAL. I took this position, I'm guessing probably 5-6 years ago, something like that. Can't remember the name of the guy. He wanted to get out of it, so I took it over.
Oh, okay, okay. Wow. So your club has actually long, rich history, and NCRAL is part of that. I mean, this is wonderful.
Yeah. We have a lot of history. The club and some of the members of our club too have a lot of history with astronomy from 1936 on till now.
I mean, unbelievable. You know, so of course you are located close to Moline, Illinois, and so on. Do you have any connection with other clubs than your Popular Astronomy Club?
Well, there's the Quad City Astronomical Club, which is just across the river in Davenport, and we do things with them. And we have visited other clubs in the area, mainly as they've invited us to come down and view through their telescopes or come to some of their meetings and things like that. So, and we've also met different clubs through the conventions we have, the NCRAL conventions every year. So then we go to different clubs. When they're hosting it, we look at their telescopes, we see what their setups and things like that.
Okay. Well, and you mentioned telescopes. I have to ask you. So, do you was talking about your first telescope experience? Do you own telescope, or what is your favorite? Or could you tell me about your telescope?
Well, I guess if you want to go, the favorite of the favorites would be the first one I had was that 4-inch Edmund Scientific, which is now gone with the mist. It's gone. I don't know where it is, but that's only because that's the first one I had. But right now I have a couple of telescopes, and I guess the one I really kind of like the best would be maybe my short tube 80, Orion short tube 80 millimeter telescope, and I also have I can put a hydrogen alpha filter on the front of it. So that with a blocking filter. So that gives me a chance to use it as just a regular telescope, or I can put on a white light filter and look at the sun, or I can put my hydrogen alpha filter on it and look at the solar prominences and things like this. It's a Coronado solar filter. So that's been a favorite of mine. But right now, what I'm really interested in is these go-to telescopes, these smart telescopes. I have a Stellina, which is an 80 millimeter smart telescope. I also have a Dwarf 2, which is a very, very portable telescope that does basically the same thing. You set it down, it aligns itself, focuses, and tell it where to go, and it goes and takes pictures. The Dwarf 2 is portable, and we were in Africa last year, and I took it with me to Africa so I could take some pictures down there. So I guess those are the three telescopes. I do have a couple other telescopes. I'm sure you may have too, John. I've got a Celestron 8-inch telescope, and somebody gave me a 10-inch Meade telescope. So we use those every once in a while too, but I'm gearing more towards portability and ease of use. And these other ones, if I have a chance to set them up, fine, I can set them up. But if it's going to be portable, I've got to go and do a quick setup. I like the short tube 80 and the Stellina or the Dwarf telescope.
True,
the go-to.
Those go-to telescopes are very easy to observe it, and they are. I mean, I have a little bit experience with Dwarf 2, and it's amazing, that small aperture, 26 millimeters, and what you can do. And what is amazing about the Dwarf 2, that you can use it, of course, for astronomy, but my understanding is that you can use it also like for landscape, animals. So do you have any astronomical experience with that?
What'd you say? I didn't hear you, John.
Well, if you are using that Dwarf 2 not only for astronomy, but for casual pictures.
I have used it for daytime use, but mostly it's just for at night. And now I will say both telescopes take good photographs, I should say. But if you really want to get into more detail and everything, you'd want to go to a larger scope, like the 8-inch or the 10-inch Meade, something, a Celestron, or the 10-inch Meade, something like that. But from the pictures I get off those two scopes, they satisfy my need. I mean, they're fine for me. We have some members in our club that they take astronomy pictures that would be on calendars. I mean, they could be the picture of the astronomy picture of the day or whatever, but I'm just comfortable getting some of the deep sky objects that I like to get. So they're detailed enough for me. I guess that's the way to say it.
Yeah. True is that it's amazing what is nowadays possible, but as you said, that portability is important, and 10-inch or 12-inch is getting kind of heavy and difficult to do setup and everything, so it takes time.
Yes. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you. Do you do like any observing programs, or
what we have is I've done some observing programs and some special things that the Alcon or Astronomy League has come out with. One that I did on myself was calculating the rotational rate of the sun, which I like to do using a telescope, and I track sunspots. Unfortunately, living in Illinois, you don't get that many clear days or clear nights. But I did manage to get a run of about 16 days that I could track a sunspot going across the sun. So I calculated that. Then I calculated with the transit of Venus. I calculated the distance from the Earth to the sun by using the transit of Venus data. And then I calculated the circumference of the Earth, like Eratosthenes did a few thousand years ago, a couple thousand years ago, by using a fence post out in my yard and knowing my location and getting the calculations that way. So some of these things are things that have been suggested by the Astronomical League, and some I just did on my own. What I'd like to get into is sometimes I like to try the Messier marathon. I look at the Messier objects, but I have not done a Messier marathon yet. So I guess that's in my future. If I want to stay up late, start early, stay up late, I'll stay up all night. So
I mean, wonderful stuff. What I hear, like observing Venus, and so on. I mean, I am always interested what those our predecessors in the past, how they found,
Yes.
what, and in history of astronomy, and it makes sense to try to redo what they did. Of course, nowadays is everything much easier, but still it makes sense to go back and to figure out how they did it.
Yes, I don't know if you've ever you have one or heard of the Galileo scope that was put out back in about 2009
Mhm.
and the 400th anniversary of Galileo. And if you would look through one of those at some objects like the moon or maybe Jupiter, you can't. And that telescope is far superior to what Galileo had made. You
Correct,
wonder how could he come up with this stuff?
correct.
We made such improvements right now. It's such improvements, but you use that old Galileo scope that was popular several years ago. It's hard to believe that he could see all the features that he did on the moon. He could see Saturn. He didn't quite distinguish the rings, the moons around Jupiter, and things like that. It's just amazing.
And not speaking now about astronomy devices, but both of us, we have glasses.
Yes,
And a few hundred years ago, basically in our age, you didn't have chance. You didn't see anything.
that's correct. Yeah, that's correct. And now with cataract surgery and everything, you can basically, if you want, get rid of your glasses, I guess.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm probably headed that way sometime soon. I don't know. We'll have to see what my eye doctor says, but
Yeah.
the improvements that have been made, yes.
It's amazing. Definitely be in wonderful time. And
Yes.
um, so are you going to attend the next NCRAL conference next year in Cedar Rapids?
Yes, since I'm the secretary treasurer, I will attend. I mean, I would attend anyway, but I have to attend because of the reports I have to give at the conference. But I enjoy those because you get a chance to talk to different people and different amateur astronomers,
Mhm.
and sometimes they have workshops on different things. I think not the last one, the one before, building a solar funnel, so you could just use your telescope and the particular shines through, and you can see the sunspots and things on the sun. But there's workshops, interesting lectures, and you get a chance to talk to different people from different clubs all over.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, we are living in wonderful time because we can connect remotely, like in this moment, and learn from each other. But still, to talk to face, I mean,
Yes.
you cannot beat
Yeah.
it. And so this is what I see, that conference once a year is wonderful opportunity to reconnect and gather for astronomers from our region.
I hope we don't lose that. I know that I think somebody has mentioned that maybe we should go to a virtual, Zoom type astronomy convention, but I don't think I wouldn't. I'm not for that because it's better to go there and talk to the people and just interact with other astronomers, amateur astronomers.
Well, I strongly believe that we should keep, that once a year conference. On the other hand, I mean, we should use all capabilities of technology which we have in 21st century. There is nothing wrong with it, but there is nothing like discussion face to face, and we may have coffee and so on. And I myself, I plan to attend conference at Cedar Rapids. So I hope that I will see you there.
Oh, I think you will. Yeah. So, yeah,
Okay,
we're looking
Roy,
forward to it.
it
It's
was
already in my calendar. It's already been blocked out, so I'll be there. My
excellent.
wife and I'll be
Excellent.
there. Yeah.
Roy, it was good to talk to you. Thank you for your time, and see you in Cedar Rapids next year.
Okay. Thank you, John. And you have a happy holidays coming up.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Bye now.
Bye.